Welcome, folks. Welcome. Today's episode introduces Sharu Jackson, whom I've known since about 2007, with a certain Melissa Pabon. Hi, Ozzy Stewart here. Thank you for tuning in to our Thank You Project episode on our podcast network experience. And on this episode, I'm shining light on Sharu Jackson, aka KJ, who has made an impact during a very stressful period in my life. Again, along with Melissa Pabon. So please like, follow, share, drop a comment, support via our donate store members page, and check out our insider conversation on ITC, which is the Inside the Call episode for how KJ deals with his career, his life as a single father, what has happened, and being a successful businessman. Here we go. So I'm going to give you a rundown on who KJ Sharu Jackson is. He is a highly experienced real estate professional with over a decade of expertise in the leasing and marketing of high-end residential real estate. His background includes extensive experience in both on-site and off-site residential leasing and real estate marketing, as well as managing luxury Class A residential projects. Mr. Jackson began his real estate career at Durst Fetner Residential as an Assistant Leasing Manager, where he quickly developed a reputation as a results-oriented professional who could be relied upon to achieve challenging leasing and occupancy goals. He provided information about the apartments in the community to prospective residents and scheduled visits to the community. He leased apartments at an acceptable, determined percentage, typically averaging approximately 65 to 70% of total prospects. He also supported overall marketing efforts and offered input and suggestions regarding promotions and advertisements. After several years at Durst Fetner, KJ was recruited to serve as Leasing and Marketing Manager at CP South Associates, that's Central Park South Associates. In this role, he conducted a full review of the company's leasing and marketing process, built traffic and brand with the assistance of an advertising agency, and analyzed and reported on prospect sourcing, feedback, and expectations to the management team. He has also successfully reduced building vacancy rates and broker commission payouts by implementing an aggressive marketing strategy. In addition to his work as leasing and marketing manager at Central Park South Associates, KJ is also the president and principal broker at 12 by 2 Real Estate Group, a position he has held since 2015. He leverages his extensive knowledge of the New York City rental and sales real estate market, rental trends, neighborhood demographics, industry marketing platforms, and latest real estate technology to oversee all aspects of his clients' real estate deals. He is a highly successful negotiator and maintains solid relationships with his clients through excellent communication and customer service. KJ Sharu has undergone extensive training in fair house, tenant, landlord laws, and HUD, HPD, and DHCR regulations. He's well versed in rent stabilization and staff supervision and development. He obtained his real estate broker certification license and real estate salesperson certification license from New York University, where he was also a member of the Fraternal Order of Freemasons. Earlier, though, in his career, he served in the United States Army as a Specialist E4 and was a member of the Coordination Committee for the annual Community Feeding and Toy Drive. He currently serves on the Penn Foundation Board. Enough for you? That's KJ. Let's go to him now. So KJ, Sharu, what led you to initially pursue a career in real estate, and how did you get your start in the industry?
After getting out of the military, I went to school and went to school for music, and I was actually in the music industry for quite a while. My father always told me have a plan A and a plan B just in case. So after the 6 years that I was in the music industry, after that came to an end, I went back to school utilizing my college money from the VA and got into real estate. That was the second thing that I decided I wanted to do with my life. And been doing it since '04, I believe.
Why real estate?
My thought pattern back then was I live in New York and it's job security because people are always going to be looking for apartments in New York. No matter what, this market will always be hot. So,
Natural. Could you walk us through a memorable success story from your time as leasing and marketing manager at Central Park Associates?
I remember, well, I'll just pull one out from here. We have an apartment that sits on the 20th floor. At the time, it was the largest apartment that we had in the building, 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom, with a wraparound terrace, about 3,000 square feet. It was renting for $21,000. Before I got here, it had been vacant for 2 years. It took me about a year and a half to actually rent it after getting here. So it was various things that I had to try, and that I came up with ideas on, let's actually stage it, put some furniture in it. So I had to coordinate with rental companies and all of this other good stuff. And then I had to host open houses, and this is not really within my wheelhouse, open houses, but just to get people in here and get enough eyes on it.
Right.
Had to offer broker commissions, and of course they were chomping at the bits for $21,000.
Sure.
But ultimately it rented because I got into virtual staging. So it was less money. I didn't have to pay for that furniture every month. And it's staged in a manner in which it's extremely pleasing to the eyes.
Right.
So that kind of doubled the amount of traffic that I had. And eventually we dropped the rent a little bit to 19, and it rented. And it's been rented ever since. That was 5 years ago.
Oh, great. In what ways have you seen the New York City rental sales real estate market change over the course of your career?
Oh, wow. Well, we had in 2008, we had that housing market crash, and I saw rents for the first time actually come down, which was amazing to me. And then, of course, they went back up shortly after to record highs. And then not very long ago, I like to pride myself in out of the 310 apartments that we have available now, how many are empty? There are 6 that are empty now.
Wow.
So I keep my vacancy very, very low. I pride myself on that. Unfortunately, we had this little thing called COVID, and the pandemic caused like 25% of the people in the building to just leave, whether they abandon their leases or not. So that really changed the way in which the market was doing things, because we had to get creative when the vaccine was created. We had to get creative to bring people back. So we were just lowering rents and offering incentives. And then those expired after the first 2 years. And now we're back up to record numbers.
Wow. It's funny, the news tends to make it seem so dire. What strategies have you found most effective in minimizing vacancy losses and maximizing the apartment value?
It's, I speak from a position of leverage because we are the only rental building along Central Park South that's fully rental. There's only one other one that's half rental, half hotel. Knowing that, we put a lot of care and a lot of money into our renovations and things of that nature because we have the prime location right here. So I just play up on that. I make sure that I put it into every ad, what the strengths of the building are. I make sure that I take people up to the sunroof and I hook them with that. It's just a matter of, this is where you want to be.
Right. How have your experiences serving in the Army impacted your approach to real estate?
Wow, that's a good question. It has to be, if anything comes to my mind immediately, it has to be ATD, which is attention to detail. In the military, they teach you attention to detail. And that's exactly how I run my life, and especially in real estate, is just attention to detail. Anything that I see that can be improved upon, I do that. Anything that's out of whack, it gets fixed.
Those people with those eyes tend to be more successful. The attention to detail, the discipline and the attention to detail. What are some of the most important trends you're seeing in today's luxury residential real estate market?
Trends is definitely the amenities. It's gone the way of they're sacrificing actual living space for these over-the-top amenities, and it's just, people are paying for this.
What are the top amenities?
Oh, they have some buildings have bowling alleys. Some buildings have these extravagant, to really rival a professional gym. They'll have those types of gyms. It's just an array of different things that mostly nobody uses. Swimming pools in the building, all different types of things just to attract you.
Right.
I mean, very similar to our roof deck, but that's a little bit more practical.
How do you balance the needs of your clients with the needs of the landlords and the property owners?
That's easy. This is a business, and if you understand that this is a business, and I can fully see through a conversation what it is that you want, then I'm giving you what you need and you're giving me what I want. It's give and take. If you want to, have a short walk to work and still have greenery, okay, this is a business. You have to pay for that.
How do you stay up to date with the changing industry regulations and guidelines, such as those related to fair housing and tenant landlord laws?
Yeah. We have a full team of lawyers that send out updates and small reminders every Friday, as well as the property manager downstairs. If there's anything that changes in the law, she's the first to know, and she'll announce it on at our meetings on Wednesdays.
What have been some of the biggest challenges you faced in your career, and how have you worked to overcome them? Especially, this real estate, just the real estate business.
Being a black man. Being a black man in this business, I look back on my career and I can't believe that I've lasted 20 years. There's not many of us to begin with, and there's none of us that have been doing it for 20 years.
Wow. Hit it right there. Could you give us an example of a time when you had to adapt to a new technology or platform to better serve your clients?
Wow, a new technology.
I know things changed for a lot of people during COVID, and so they had to work through different things, but
No, that was fine because tell you the truth, through COVID, what they did was they shut down all real estate transactions, all in-person real estate transactions. So I wasn't doing anything, nothing. But it probably is, as I go from company to company, everybody uses a different property management software. So, me getting used to the property management software from here, this particular job is probably the most challenging thing that I've dealt with technology-wise.
What do you see as the future of luxury residential real estate market in New York City?
The future? I think that they're going to push these buildings to a point of there'll be no more expansion. I mean, there's only but so much that people are going to be willing to pay for. And I think that they've already exceeded the amount of luxury buildings that they can actually put. Once they started moving over to 10th and 11th Avenue, I mean, how far else can you go? So I think that people are going to start accepting the fact that, much like the office buildings, we don't want to live there anymore.
Right.
We're not going to pay that amount of money. We'll move to New Jersey.
Right.
Especially with the congestion pricing.
Right.
That's going to be difficult for people to maneuver around the city and
Right.
pay that amount of rent.
Right.
So I think that the rents are going to become stagnant, and then they're going to slowly come down as people leave the city.
Now, you have all that vacancy in the office building market. Has there been a vacancy situation happening in the luxury rental market?
No, not really. Not that I can say that I'm aware of. Quite conversely, because this year, as I mentioned to you, out of 310 apartments, I only have 6 that are vacant. That's unheard of in the summertime. I have so many leases that expire in the summer, but nobody's leaving. No one's leaving, so my vacancy is very low.
How do you stay motivated and maintain a positive attitude when faced with the pressures and demands of your industry? Because I know it can be that.
I stay motivated knowing that, just like I said, there aren't many out here that look like me.
Right.
And I want to be as successful as I can, so that way a black guy who's coming up behind me can have this job and be the face of the company, and whomever is interviewing him will say, you know what, yeah, you could be the face of my company.
Right.
Because Kenyatta was good.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that I do well and open doors for...
Open that lane.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Now, we met at a very topsy-turvy time in my life. Zip, zip, zip. And you were so supportive, along with Miss Melissa Pabon. And you gave me a certain book, which I have recently pulled out again. Do you remember that book you gave me?
The Spook Who's Up Out the Door?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's changed my life.
I pulled it out again. We'll talk about that on Inside the Call. So get there, folks. So thank you very much for taking the time to spend with us. Thanks to Cheese, the OTC team, and to my audience for spending your valuable time with us again. Please like, follow, drop a comment on our YouTube page. Donate to the store, become a member, where you'll experience 24 episodes yearly. Again, you'll have a different SKU of Mr. KJ. And where sometimes you get advice, you can contemplate on a different view of our guests. And again, not seen anywhere else, exclusive only to you. However, all that said, please care to share. And when you are on your beat, stay on the sunny, sunny side of the street safely. Be health conscious, kind to one another. And don't forget to give thanks for the little and big things as we strive through and to this beautiful life. Big hugs from here. Thank you so much for spending this time, letting us
absolutely welcome,
me
Ozzy.
Tell people about what you do and who you are on this career thing. And in the meantime, we're going to have another conversation inside the call. See you there, guys.